Released last night, the WNBA PA, the Players Union, they're crashing out. They're crashing out, and they look less and less professional by the moment. Fans are recognizing this. There are things that they cannot keep this from getting personal.
That single statement from the WNBA Players Association explains almost everything that has gone wrong in these negotiations. It shows why public opinion has shifted so fast and so harshly. What started as a situation where fans felt sympathy for the players has now flipped completely. Many people who once supported the athletes are now openly siding with team owners. In a labor dispute, that is usually a sign something has gone very wrong. The Players Association recently released a long and aggressive statement about the ongoing talks. Instead of helping their case, it sparked backlash across social media and sports forums. Fans criticized not just the message but the tone. The reaction was immediate and brutal. That raises an important question. How did the players lose the public so quickly? To understand this, we need to look at the timeline. On January 20, 2025, at exactly 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, the 2020 WNBA collective bargaining agreement officially expired. A few days earlier, the league's owners made a calculated move. They publicly announced they would not lock out the players. This was a smart decision. It instantly made ownership look calm, professional, and reasonable. The Players Association, however, responded very differently. Instead of matching that tone, they staged a protest by placing an inflatable rat outside the NBA store in New York City. While that symbol has a long history in labor protests, the message did not land the way they hoped. To many fans, it felt childish and out of place. Billion-dollar sports negotiations were suddenly being compared to a dockworker strike. Whether fair or not, optics matter, and this one hurt the players badly. In modern sports disputes, perception is everything. The side that appears more level-headed usually wins public support. That support matters even more for the WNBA than for other leagues because the WNBA has never turned a profit in its 29-year history. Every dollar players earn is tied to NBA support and ownership's willingness to keep investing in a league that loses money every year. When you negotiate from that position, you cannot afford to look unreasonable. The Players Association says it deeply cares about fans and respects their loyalty. They claim the league's approach harms current players, future players, and the communities that support women's basketball. But when fans compare statements from both sides, they see a clear difference. The union released a 347-word manifesto filled with charged language about pay equity, social justice, and accusations that owners are acting in bad faith. The league, on the other hand, responded with just 73 words. That response was calm, business-focused, and centered on growth, sustainability, and increasing player salaries. One statement sounded like it was written to start a fight. The other sounded like it was written to close a deal. Fans noticed immediately. Comment sections across sports media platforms filled with people saying they were now backing ownership. Many called the Players Association insufferable and said the union's tone pushed them away. This shift in opinion becomes clearer when you look at what is actually being negotiated. Owners have reportedly offered major salary increases. The average player salary would more than double under the proposed structure. Maximum contracts would rise significantly. Rookie contracts would also see meaningful increases. By traditional labor negotiation standards, this is a strong opening offer, especially for a league that does not make money. The players, however, are asking for something much bigger. A 50-50 revenue split based on gross revenue, similar to what NBA and NFL players receive. On the surface, this sounds fair. In profitable leagues, players do get roughly half the revenue. The problem is that revenue sharing only works when there is profit to share. In leagues like the NBA and NFL, once all expenses are paid, arenas, travel, staff, operations, there is still massive profit left over. That leftover money is what gets divided. The WNBA does not have leftover money. It loses money every year. The NBA covers those losses with subsidies worth tens of millions annually. Asking for a percentage of gross revenue in a league that operates at a loss means owners would lose even more money as the league grows. This is why so many fans are now siding with ownership. They see the players demanding a structure that simply does not fit the current reality of the league. Timing also plays a huge role here. The WNBA recently signed new media rights deals with major platforms like ESPN and Amazon Prime. These deals are expected to bring in much more money starting in 2026. Some estimates suggest media revenue could triple or even quadruple. That kind of income could finally make the league profitable. The problem is that money has not arrived yet. Owners are working off projections, not real numbers. After nearly 3 decades of funding a losing operation, they are understandably cautious about committing to a revenue-sharing model before seeing actual profits. This is what makes the situation so frustrating. If players had waited until 2027, after 2 full years of new media deals, they would be negotiating from a position of proof, not hope. They could point to real profits and make a stronger case. Instead, they are pushing for a deal based on expectations rather than facts. As things stand, the gap between both sides feels wider than ever. Public support has shifted. Tensions are high. And many fans are now openly wondering whether the 2026 season will even happen at all. Some fans are openly mocking the situation now, comparing professional basketball to manual labor, and saying the players are acting like the job is unbearable. Whether those comments are fair or not, they show how far public opinion has shifted. That alone should worry the Players Association. But the real problem here goes deeper than money or bad timing. The bigger issue is how the union has chosen to frame this entire negotiation. If you read the players' statement closely, you will notice the language they use. Words like pay equity, regressive rules, and claims about policies that no longer belong in women's basketball dominate the message. Instead of treating this like a business negotiation, they are framing it as a civil rights battle. That is a serious strategic mistake. When you frame a labor dispute as a moral issue, you are sending a clear message. Anyone who disagrees with you is not just wrong but unethical. You are implying that opposition means standing on the wrong side of history. That approach can work when fighting real discrimination or clear injustice. But this situation is different. This is a financial negotiation inside a league that has never been profitable. When you use moral pressure to force a business outcome, it can feel manipulative. To many fans, it sounds like an attempt to shame ownership rather than negotiate honestly. This is why some people feel the wrong voices are leading these talks. A player like Caitlin Clark understands balance. From the moment news broke that the Players Association wanted to break away from the current CBA and push for more money, it was clear the timing was off. This push is happening at least 2 years too early. The smarter move would have been to wait until the new media rights deals actually begin paying out. Once that money starts reaching owners, they will be able to see the league's real financial picture. If profits finally appear, the conversation changes completely. Players would have solid numbers to support their demands. Right now, they are arguing over projections, not results. Fans understand this. Scroll through comment sections and you will see the same point repeated again and again. The WNBA is not underpaying players because of sexism. It is paying what it can afford based on what it earns. That is not a moral failure. That is basic economics. When you try to turn financial limits into oppression, you lose credibility with anyone who is not already fully aligned with your ideology. This connects to a long-standing problem for the league. The WNBA has always tried to be more than basketball. It has positioned itself as a social movement, a symbol of equality, and a platform for activism. The original fan base embraced that identity and supported the league for years when interest was low. But last season changed everything. Caitlin Clark brought in millions of new viewers. Those fans did not tune in for political messaging. They came to watch high-level basketball. Now, during these negotiations, the Players Association is repeating the same mistake. They are leading with activism instead of reality. Their statements sound like rally speeches, not contract discussions, and it is backfiring badly. The contrast between the two sides could not be clearer. Ownership talks about growth, sustainability, and building on recent momentum. They sound like people trying to create something lasting. The players sound angry, confrontational, and dismissive of the league's fragile position. To casual fans, it looks like one side wants progress while the other wants conflict. What makes this especially frustrating is that the players do have real concerns. For years, working conditions lagged behind other professional leagues. Travel was often uncomfortable. Training facilities were inconsistent. Salaries forced many players to compete overseas just to make a living. These are legitimate issues, and they deserved attention. According to reports, ownership has addressed many of them. The new proposal includes better travel arrangements, improved facilities, and major salary increases. These are real wins. But instead of highlighting progress and negotiating remaining details, the Players Association is acting as if the owners are trying to exploit them. The aggressive language and protest tactics make them appear unreasonable, even when they are right on some points. This matters because if negotiations collapse, the consequences will not be equal. If there is no season, players lose their income entirely. Owners lose money too, but they have been absorbing losses for nearly 3 decades. One more year does not change their financial reality. For players, however, missing a season could be devastating. Even worse, the league could lose all the momentum it just gained. 1 year without Caitlin Clark on national television could erase the progress made with new fans. People who recently discovered the WNBA might simply move on. From a negotiation standpoint, the players have very little leverage right now. The league is not profitable. The media money has not arrived yet. Owners are willing to wait. That means the smartest approach would be to look reasonable, accept the strong salary increases, secure better conditions, and return to the table later with proof of profitability. Instead, the Players Association is acting as if it holds all the power when it does not. Fans are watching this unfold and recognizing that the union is overplaying its hand. The path forward is still open, but time is running out. If a deal is not reached soon, the 2025 season could quietly disappear. The choice is clear. The players can take a solid deal now and fight for more later, or they can hold out for something that is not coming and risk losing everything they just built. Right now, public opinion is firmly on the owner's side. That almost never happens in sports labor disputes. That fact alone should tell the Players Association how badly they have mismanaged this moment. The real question is whether they will adjust before it is too late.